What's the deadliest pandemic in human history? Is it the Black Death that ravaged medieval Europe? The Spanish flu of 1918? Or could it be COVID-19, the virus currently sweeping the globe? Throughout history, infectious diseases have emerged to devastate human populations. Which outbreaks were the worst of the worst? Number 10. 2009 swine flu. The 2009 swine flu pandemic, caused by a novel H1N1 influenza virus, originated in Mexico and quickly spread globally, infecting up to 1.4 billion people. The CDC estimates that it claimed between 51,700 and 575,400 lives worldwide. Unlike typical flu outbreaks, it disproportionately affected children and young adults, with 60% of hospitalizations and 80% of deaths occurring in those under 65. The WHO declared the pandemic over on August 10, 2010, but the H1N1 strain still circulates as a seasonal flu. Number 9. The cholera pandemics. The cholera pandemics take the 9th spot. Cholera, a bacterial disease causing severe diarrhea and dehydration, spreads through contaminated water and food. 7 pandemics have occurred over the past 200 years, with the first originating in India in 1817. The 19th century pandemics were especially devastating, spreading from India to Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Europe, Africa, and North America, killing millions. Cholera remains endemic in many developing countries with inadequate water treatment and sanitation. The WHO estimates 1.3 to 4 million cases and 21,000 to 143,000 deaths occur worldwide each year, with recent outbreaks in Haiti, Yemen, and several African nations. Number 8. The Asian flu. The Asian flu pandemic of 1957 to 1958, caused by the H2N2 influenza virus, takes the 8th spot. Originating in East Asia, likely China, it spread worldwide, combining avian and human flu strains. The WHO estimates it caused 2 to 4 million excess deaths globally, with 116,000 in the US. A quickly developed vaccine helped limit spread and mortality, but a second wave in 1958 claimed more lives. H2N2 circulated until 1968, when it mutated through antigenic shift, swapping genes with another avian flu strain. This produced the H3N2 subtype, which displaced the Asian flu and still circulates in humans today. Number 7. COVID-19. COVID-19, the pandemic we're currently facing, takes the 7th spot. This novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, emerged in Wuhan, China in December 2019 and quickly reached global pandemic status by March 2020. Highly transmissible, it spreads via respiratory droplets and aerosols. Symptoms range from mild to severe, including pneumonia, blood clots, neurological effects, and death. Over 200 million cases and 4 million deaths have been confirmed worldwide, causing massive social and economic disruption. Effective vaccines offer hope for control, but new variants pose an ongoing challenge. The final toll of the COVID-19 pandemic remains to be seen. Number 6. The Anonine Plague. The Anonine Plague, also known as the Plague of Galen, takes the 6th spot. This ancient pandemic devastated the Roman Empire from 165 to 180 AD, brought back by soldiers returning from the Near East. Though the exact cause is uncertain, scholars believe it was either smallpox or measles. Erupting during the reign of Marcus Aurelius, it spread throughout the empire, causing fever, sore throat, diarrhea, and skin eruptions. With mortality estimated at 1/4 to 1/3 of the population, it claimed 5 to 10 million lives, decimated the Roman army, disrupted trade, and depleted state coffers. Some historians suggest it marked the beginning of the empire's decline. Number 5. The American Plagues. The American Plagues take the 5th spot, sweeping through indigenous populations after the arrival of European colonizers in the 15th century. Lacking immunity to European diseases like smallpox, measles, influenza, and typhus, native populations were devastated when these maladies spread like wildfire. Although the exact magnitude is unknown, an estimated 80 to 95% of the Native American population was wiped out within 150 years of Columbus's arrival in 1492. In Mexico, the indigenous population plummeted from 11 million in 1519 to just 1 million by 1600. Entire civilizations were decimated in one of the worst demographic catastrophes in human history. Number 4. The Plague of Justinian. The Plague of Justinian, the first recorded bubonic plague outbreak, takes the 4th spot. Striking in the 6th century AD during Emperor Justinian III's reign, it arrived in Constantinople in 541 AD and quickly spread throughout the Mediterranean. Caused by the Yersinia pestis bacterium and spread by infected fleas on black rats, it featured fever, chills, and painful, swollen lymph nodes called buboes. With mortality estimated at 25 to 50 million over 2 centuries of recurrent outbreaks and 5,000 daily deaths in Constantinople alone at its peak, it crippled the Byzantine Empire by depleting population, disrupting agriculture and trade, and weakening the military. Recovery took centuries. Number 3. The HIV Aids Pandemic. The HIV Aids Pandemic, a modern scourge, takes the 3rd spot. HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, attacks the immune system's CD4 cells, gradually destroying it until the body can no longer fight infections. Emerging in the Democratic Republic of Congo around 1920, AIDS wasn't recognized as a new disease until 1981. Since then, it has killed over 36 million people, with over 38 million currently living with HIV/AIDS, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa. While antiretroviral drugs have made HIV manageable, there is still no cure or vaccine, and treatment access remains a challenge in developing countries. Despite declining new infections, the fight continues. Number 2. The Spanish flu. The Spanish flu, the notorious 1918 influenza pandemic, takes the 2nd spot. Spreading globally during World War I's final months, its geographic origin is unknown. It was named after Spain, which openly reported on it first. Caused by an H1N1 virus of avian origin, it infected 1/3 of the world's population, 500 million. Estimates suggest 17 to 100 million deaths worldwide, making it one of history's deadliest pandemics. Young adults were especially hard hit, with 99% of US pandemic deaths occurring under age 65. Lacking vaccines and antibiotics, control efforts had limited effect. The pandemic faded in 1919, but its impact lingered for generations. Number 1. The Black Death. Taking the dreaded top spot as history's deadliest pandemic is the Black Death, a disastrous 14th century outbreak of bubonic plague that devastated Europe, Africa, and Asia. Caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, carried by fleas on infected rats, it arrived in Europe in October 1347 when 12 ships from the Black Sea docked at Messina, Sicily, with most sailors dead or gravely ill, covered in oozing black boils. Despite authorities ordering the fleet out, it was too late. Over the next 5 years, the Black Death spread like wildfire, fueled by unsanitary medieval conditions. It struck down all classes, causing fever, chills, exhaustion, and telltale egg-sized pus and blood-oozing swellings called buboes. Most died within 2 to 7 days of symptoms. The death toll was staggering. Estimates range from 75 to 200 million, with a median of 100 million. With the global population around 450 million, this means 17 to 45% of the world perished. Some cities lost over half their population, and Europe took 200 years to recover. The Black Death's impact was profound. With the labor force decimated, wages rose and social hierarchy crumbled. Agriculture, trade, and manufacturing collapsed. Peasant revolts challenged feudalism, and faith in the church eroded, paving the way for the Protestant Reformation. No subsequent plague outbreak matched the Black Death's catastrophic scale, cementing its status as history's deadliest pandemic. So there you have it, the top 10 deadliest pandemics in history. From the Black Death of the Middle Ages to the HIV crisis of today, infectious diseases have shaped the course of human history. They've toppled empires, shifted demographics, and transformed societies. As we grapple with COVID-19, it's a stark reminder of the devastating impact pandemics can have, even in our modern, medically advanced world. But it's also a testament to human resilience. After each of these pandemics, humanity has bounced back, adapted, and persevered.